Hi, I'm Lorin Kavanaugh, and on October 4th, 2012, my life was drastically changed. That morning I woke up and I realized I was a little late for school, so I quickly got ready, got my breakfast, went out the door, and it was 7:20 when I was leaving, and school starts at 7:30. I do live relatively close to school, so I know I could have made it there on time. So I left. It was really foggy out, and it was starting to drizzle a little bit. And I just remember driving, and then the next thing you know, I thought I was asleep again. I thought I was having a nightmare. And I was really frustrated because I was waiting for my alarm clock to go off, but it wouldn't go off. Police came up to me and told me that the truck was here and they're gonna get me out now. I just sat there and I heard crushing metal so loud. And then the next thing you know, I could feel my foot. And the police came over to me and was like, "Can you wedge yourself out a little bit?" And I tried my hardest. I put all my strength in to lift myself up, but only like my right side came up a little bit. My left side was completely stuck. Then the roof was still on, I was still laying there. Then I heard metal crushing so loud and the whole roof lifted up. I could feel the cold air rush over my head. My seat fell back, and honestly, it was probably one of the best moments of my life.
I'm Bill Neely. I'm a volunteer with both the Kinnelon and the Boonton Township Fire Departments. I was there probably 3 or 4 minutes after the first fire truck arrived, so I was third or fourth person there. And when I got out, I walked up, my initial reaction to the first firefighter that was there, I said, "She's dead?" Because the tree was where you're supposed to be sitting. And with this total amazed look, he said, "No, she's alive."
Then they quickly pulled me out of the car, laid me on a stretcher, and rushed me into the ambulance. And then the lady told me, she said to me, "Lorin, you must have an amazing guardian angel, because I cannot believe that you are alive, let alone conscious right now."
The mirror and the driver's hinge of the car was touching the center console. There was no space for you to be alive. And I was in total shock. I don't know how many accidents I've been to that there was any way someone could be alive in that car.
It scared me because it was the realization that I wasn't just in a little accident, that this was serious, life-threatening accident, and I could have lost my life in a second.
Alex Emilio, and I'm one of Lorin Kavanaugh's closest friends. It was really hard to believe. We were just sitting in class like any normal day, and she didn't show up one day. We're like, "No, it can't be Lorin." And everyone's like, "Oh, there's a car accident." And we're like, "No, it can't be. She's just late. It's normal Lorin. She's not here." But we heard it was her, and it was unbelievable. Lorin has definitely made me more cautious the way I drive. I'm always careful, always look, always wear my seatbelt, all of the basic driving habits.
Hi, I'm Emily Gathercole, and I'm one of Lorin's closest friends. My reaction, I was just shocked because this is, first of all, my best friend. My immediate reaction was, no, it's not her. It's a mistake. People are confused. It's someone else. This doesn't happen to my friend. Well, first of all, she's been so proactive about the situation. I mean, she's been through a lot, so she could be sitting home and moping and, having a hard time, but she's being very proactive, like doing this competition. Like, I always remember when I go on the S curves, I remember her and know to slow down. I know when it's raining to turn on my lights and my windshield wipers and go slow, and that's basically it. I'm just like a safer driver now, I feel like.
So they pulled me out of the ambulance and they were rushing me down the hallway when I heard a woman crying from behind. And I knew for a fact that that had to be my mother. The nurse told us, "You have to get her to the CAT scans now because it's urgent we get her stitched up. She's losing too much blood." Then when it was done, the nurses came back in and they pulled me out and they rushed me to the emergency room. And in there, they're like, okay, we're gonna stitch you up now. They set me up, and then I saw my aunt waiting for me, and she came over to me, and she was so relieved to see me. She was so happy to see that I was talking. And then right after the plastic surgeon came in, he introduced himself. He was like, okay, Lorin, we're gonna get you stitched up now. And he started cleaning out my cut. He washed away a lot of the blood. He had to pull out all the pieces of glass that were stuck in my head. He made me stick out my tongue, and he was like, okay, we're gonna have to stitch this too. So after he was finished, he was like, okay, Lorin, you're done. You have 500 stitches in your head, 5 in your cheek, 5 in your tongue, and a couple in your lip.
It was like pure shock. I didn't know what to think. I heard that somebody was in an accident. I got the text messages saying that the roads were closed. I just figured it was somebody else. The fact that Lorin wasn't in school, I just figured that she was sick. Or that she was coming in late. And then second block, somebody came in and said, oh, do you know Lorin? She got in the car accident, she hit a tree. And my first thought was that she didn't make it. It was terrifying.
And then a doctor comes in, and he was like, Lorin, we have good news and bad news for you. So he told me the good news was I didn't break any bones in my body. The only thing that was wrong was a fractured rib. And I was pretty amazed, but you know, I was really thankful for that. And then he proceeds to tell me that the bad news is we found bleeding in your brain. And at that moment, I was terrified, knowing that, you know, the brain is the most serious organ in your body and that it was bleeding and this could be serious. And he told me that, you know, we're all hoping that it will just absorb itself in, but I can't eat or drink anything for 24 hours because I might need to get brain surgery the next morning. And then a couple hours later they came in and they told me that it absorbed and I would not need brain surgery. And that was amazing. Hearing that, it was just like the best news I've ever gotten in my entire life. I was in the hospital for a couple more days, and there they helped me. It was really hard to walk, so they had to walk me, take me on walks, and help me learn how to walk up the stairs again. And it was really painful still, you know, like I was bruised, pretty banged up everywhere. But then I was able to go home, and I had a lot of friends and family visit, which was really helpful and supporting. But, you know, like going through this, I've realized that people take everyday actions for granted, like walking, eating, moving your hands, even talking, driving, you know. People just like go through their day and they don't realize how grateful they are that they can actually do what they can do, because, you know, when it's taken away from you, it's like reality check, like this can happen to anyone.